There's an old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. That's the spirit of regionalism that's defined our approach to addressing this pandemic. And that regionalism extends throughout the state of California and beyond. We have had the deep collaborative spirit advanced now in states large and small all across the United States, but none stronger than the relationships we have formed in Washington State and the state of Oregon. We just sent out a joint statement of a shared vision for a process and protocol, a framework, we refer to it, for reopening, not just within our states, but more broadly as a region. I don't want to overstate this vision. I don't want to overstate this framework, and I don't want to understate the imperative of meeting this moment by continuing to practice appropriate social distancing and practicing physical distancing so we can continue to bend the curve. But we are at a point of time where, not dissimilar to the announcement that was made an hour or so ago on the East Coast, that we're beginning to socialize conversations we've been having over the course of many days, in the case of the Oregon and Washington governor, into the beginning of last week, where we began a process of establishing more formally what it would look like and how we could begin the process of the kind of incremental release of the stay-at-home orders that advanced the fundamental principle of keeping people healthy, keeping people safe, using science to guide our decision-making and not political pressure, and continuing to do what we can to share our best practices and share our resolve and ultimately advance the kind of results that everybody is expecting. We look forward to collaborating further with other governors along the western states, but we look forward, in addition to that, to continuing the collaborative spirit that extends well beyond just the west coast of the United States, forming perspectives and opinions, sharing best practices, and ultimately advancing the cause that unite all of us, and that is the cause of reopening our economy and doing so in a safe and strategic and responsible way. And to that end, I want to be very specific. Tomorrow, we will lay out our California-based thinking on that effort. For weeks now, I've been previewing that the state of California is putting together a bottom-up plan, a framework for targeted interventions and easing of restrictions in the state to allow us to toggle between approaching issues on the population basis versus on an individual basis. We're going to lay that out, as I say, as detailed a plan as we can at this stage tomorrow at the noon press conference. But I just want to acknowledge and thank the governors of Washington, the governors of Oregon, Governor Brown and Governor Inslee for their just ongoing partnership, their incredible support and the collaborative spirit that, by the way, goes well beyond just this moment. I want to just extend that spirit was on display at scale last year with the forest fires that we had, particularly in Northern California, where they brought down mutual aid engines from Oregon and into Washington State, allowed us to concentrate our resources in some of the hot spots in Southern California to address last year's wildfire season. So again, it's the spirit of collaboration, spirit of partnership, a recognition that this pandemic, the virus, knows no boundaries, knows no borders. You can't build walls around it, and you can't deny basic fundamental facts. And again, before I transition, we will be driven by facts, we'll be driven by evidence, we'll be driven by science, we'll be driven by our public health advisors, and we'll be driven by the collaborative spirit that defines the best of us at this incredibly important moment.